What is up, guys? Another round of Supercoach is upon us. Round 7 is coming up in 2 nights. Crazy night on the waivers for us drafters, so we'll get stuck into that in matchups really quickly. Using the headset tonight because I've had man flu and I just can't project my voice out to my studio mic, so things will sound a little bit differently, but hopefully not so bad. Let's get cracking. Quick little community update. I had my first loss to Aaron, whose team's rolling. He had the Kinney, Jaden Campbell stack, which I just was not beating when my guys didn't hit much upside at all. What I wanted to showcase was League Scoring Pulse, which is a new feature for people in the Oracle. When they're comparing their leagues, they can kind of see how people are tracking to the league average. I think it's pretty important to know what your team averages comparative to the league. I think that's pretty interesting. So the league's averaging 872 and I'm averaging 956, and that way, like, when things start to go south, you can still see where you sit on the league average. Probably more important, I would probably say last 5 is a nice blend. This early in the season, we've only got 6 rounds, not super important, but trust me, by round 11 and 12, those first few weeks aren't going to mean as much as the last 5. So League Pulse is a new one. Love the heartbeat theme. And then we also released, well, when I say we, I mean me, another set of data which is about the volatility, the consistency of league scoring. So kudos to Ryan. Even though his average is a bit lower than, say, Adam or myself, he's got that elite level coefficient of variance. Really cool, like games against top 5 and close games and stuff. So just really sick. Like, this was already cool with the TPR, my favorite. This is my advanced stats world. I've improved these callouts. So Paul's running the hottest, winning slightly more than expected, running warm but not hot. Ryan's hard done by. Just increase the screen size. Ryan's hard done by, bad luck, and Ryan's most underrated, which is really cool. So he's sitting fine. I've also fixed up the ladder here for some people. I remember Dave called it out in the community. This is on my list, but you can just filter by sub ranking. So even though people are on the same wins and losses, you can like flick over between points for and against, or ladder, and then that's automatically by points scored. So that should be flowing through. I've got Origin Planner in there. I won't go into detail. I just want to kind of do the league update, which I'd already actually done. So yeah, I scored 847 and lost to Aaron with a big 967. But yeah, pretty cool on the Oracle front. We released Origin Planner. Trade Lab was early last week. And then League Map as well was released. There's so much cool stuff on the Oracle, so please check it out if you haven't already. I'll get out of that. We're going to talk about matchups right away. So there's just so much to discuss this week. I'll do it game by game and try and recall everyone who's sort of worth mentioning in terms of waivers and pickups as we go, and then I'll just run through my list at the end, so stick around, you get the full list, all that good stuff. Yeah, if you've been enjoying this format, it's like the most bang for buck I can do. We're doing matchups, waivers all in one on Tuesday night, so you can be really locked into your pickups based on both matchups, stats, and the list, and then the gut feel stuff, the eye test stuff. So got big Kai Pearce-Paul on the gun matchup ranking. So gun matchups are reporting right now, I think, over 60% accurate. What that means is if a player's on this list, there's a pretty good chance they could convert the gun matchup. And what I mean by convert the gun matchup is hit upside, right? Is to score above their average. Whereas projections, the projection values, they're way harder to be accurate with, right? Like, it's so hard to predict someone's score in any fantasy sport, let alone Supercoach. They're cool, they're valuable, the inputs into those are super interesting, super valuable, but the engine needs to learn more about the player and the matchups and how and the scoring volatility of the player before it can get even more accurate. I'd say by the end of the season, when it matters most, probably projections are going to be pretty good, but just know that matchups are running quite strongly, especially gun matchups. I think gun and favorable are quite accurate. So finally, Suafa'alongo is not the best fullback of the week. It's Dream Buller. Jenkins still dominates, and hey, he scored 2 tries last week. Obviously only for like an 80, but man, he is matchup proof, so therefore he's also got such high pedigree that on the year that he just dominates. Sasangi breaks through, Avarillo returns, Avarillo's rolling, obviously has the matchup there too, we'll go into that. Burns, Dewey, Mooney, try scoring luck, I wouldn't read into that. Sandon Smith, I don't know how that's possible, but I wouldn't read into that. Luciano Leilua, yeah, that's fine. Kai Pearce-Paul, that's more interesting. And Alex Tuala, that's just a pedigree. So again, gun matchups, elite pedigree meets defensive opportunity. It's more valuable in my mind to tell you that a good player has a chance to go really well than a nobody is up against a bad defense. So just that's not as valuable. However, we do touch on that, and you'll see how that changes in the format coming up. For elite matchups, you can pause and peruse these. I won't go overboard, but it's nice to see Keanu Kinney, Trbojevic, and Drinky, who are all really fantasy classic relevant, and Supercoach obviously classic relevant. They make a entryway here, and then Herbie Farmworth pops up here, which is really interesting this week. Off his buy round. Tom Chester's proven just to be a stud. Very jealous I didn't snap him up. Jackson Ford, Terrell May, Payne Haas, some of the big names again breaking through. Hamole, who be interesting if he can convert on that. Jacob Preston slides in after a good week of scoring against Penrith, and that's deserved if you can score against them. Obviously Blaze Talangi, not elite by any means, but if you can score against them, then you can convert on most opportunities, guys. Yo, Couchy, and Paddy Carrigan. I don't think Ryan Couchman's named, so just replace the guys that are not named there, but like we're going to have another person I saw, like Casey McLean, he's not named there, so just monitor that. Lehigh makes another one, but Manly, I don't know where they're going to score, so hopefully for us Lehigh players, he can convert. Pure defensive weakness slots, you can pause and analyze this, or jump on the Instagram or Twitter to kind of go through this at your own leisure, but this is just pure defensive gaps. I don't know why Josh Curran's there. What the hell? But yeah, whoever is the Josh Curran, like lock or prop, I guess, that's a little bug. And Sandon again, I need to fix why Sandon Smith's flowing through there. Maybe Phoenix Crossland. Because he's... Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I'll jump in and check that one out. But that's the beauty of running such a myriad of tools and functions and database management, is sometimes little things creep through. And hey, maybe Sandon just has the matchup compared to other hookers. Yeah, I don't know. Braden Burns, I think, is Zach Labutt, so keep that in mind. And then Saab pops up too there. Xavier Savage isn't there, so I would be ignoring that because Jed, what's his face? Jed Stewart, I don't back him to do anything. And then you've got like Stephen Crichton, who may actually come back in, but whoever's playing, like Bronson Cherry. So those injury replacement names are going to always be a little bit funny, because I don't really want to remove people for someone that hasn't locked the spot down. Like Lasardi, who's really playing left edge. I'll change that once we know a bit more. So North Queensland Manly kicks us off. Yeah, and as for like waivers here, I quite liked the Braden Burns spot, which is Zach Labutt, who has the gun matchup. On the Manly side, no one really sticks out, but we've got another set of elite matchups for Trbojevic and Olakau'atu, but Ben Trbojevic couldn't convert on that last week, so I wouldn't be putting too much stock into him. You can see I've added the orange text, which is conceded, so that's defense conceded. That's just a pure number. So on average, Manly's defense concedes 68.5 to fullbacks. Scotty Drinkwater, his matchup scores 79, which is a blend of his scoring pedigree, which is really important to note that that's not just his season average, that's a blend of his recent scoring too, which gives it way more credibility on his form. And then when you combine the conceding with his scoring, you get that matchup score of 79.5, which ranks him against the matchup score of Tom, 73.9. But just on a pure defensive basis, one team concedes 68.5 and one team concedes 66 on average. So you can choose kind of whether you want to just read Drinky as an elite matchup and Tommy as an elite matchup, which I prefer to do, or you can look at the concession there or the conceding number and say, damn, both teams usually concede 65 points to, or more, a little bit more to fullbacks. Definitely going to fire up Drinky for a VC or Tommy for a VC kind of thing like that. That's up to you. And that applies across the board. Ooh, excuse me. I don't know if there's much else in this game really to call out. One thing you'll notice is only one half pulls through here for the matchup. So I just capture both halves in total. That's just a design choice I made early on. It's not like a game breaker or anything. And it's good. It's a kind of a good way to see things because you've got like the way halves play around, and not all do this, but it happens in enough cases that halves play either side of a play the ball. Like say the play the ball's on the left side of the left post, but not on the left edge. It's like in the middle on the left. Cleary's still going to be first receiver and create enough for the left edge. So like to have him only be captured in the right half delineation, I don't think tells the full story of how he's defended or how he scores or whatever. He could easily get a try assist playing short to Isaiah Papali'i on the left side. And the people that he breaks tackles aren't going to be his opposite half on the right edge that often, right? So I choose to do that. It makes our decision making as players of Supercoach a bit easier because you can just go like, look, halves in general have a favourable matchup for both Manly and North Queensland this weekend. It just kind of helps you balance your expectations. If I was really acute with the call out there, I don't think that'd be a fair representation of what could or won't happen. So just take that all with a grain of salt. And it's pretty cool because, look, Manly are defending halves pretty well with a conceding 46.2 on average, but Jake Clifford and Tom Dearden are scoring so well that they actually bring the ranking into favourable, even though like at a glance it should look like a pretty tough matchup, and that's cool. They might break through whatever Manly's been doing on halves, and that's totally reasonable and something that you should feel confident in playing your guys there for. And then on the opposite side, the Cowboys have been so bad that even Jamal Fogarty gets a favourable matchup because his scoring's been fine, but their defence has been poor enough that, hey, it looks good for Fogarty. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. It'd be hard to trust Ben Trbojevic if you weren't littered with injury. If he was like a third, fourth, you'd probably maybe sit him, but he has the matchup, and after a good game, quiet game, maybe the gambler's fallacy is that he's sort of like due another one this weekend or whatever. Let's move on though. Canberra, Melbourne. The first call out just from a waiver wire perspective is I think Moses Leo finally got dropped. So the dude playing in his spot is someone to monitor. Forget his name. Maneri, Watiri, maybe. Tamale's been dropped too, but I wouldn't play Chris, but I would have a look at Tomoko. He's like a mid waiver, not like a high waiver because it could be short term, but he's definitely a mid waiver, and if you've really got balls of steel, you can go high. I mentioned Zach Labour in the previous game. The other guy in this game is Cooper Clark. He's been named to start. Now a lot of people think Blore just comes straight in. I don't know if I agree. I think Blore's there in case Clark's bad. Clark could easily play 60 minutes again, and in a front row eligible spot in a team that good, in a game potentially this good. See that he does have the neutral matchup, but I'm not too fazed by that. Given some of the low scores because of the bench minutes, those guys, it doesn't really represent the potential upside. I think that's interesting for him. Huddy Young, he breaks the conceding average there for the Storm, and his pedigree kind of gives him an elite matchup. That's one that's questionable. The Storm have got to be better at some point. Noel Martin, like he's playing on the edge that's torn Melbourne, that has been tearing up against Melbourne, but I don't think he does much. I haven't seen he's got a couple line breaks, but ever since that first game where he scored 2, I don't know about Noel Martin. Had him in my sell high article. Super fine if you didn't pay much for him or you don't care, but probably be trying to get someone who maybe won't have a resting like what happened to him on the weekend. But hey, probably just plays 80, does really well. Probably just salty I dropped it. What else stands out to me? Simi Sasungi gets a gun matchup, which is pretty cool for Sasungi owners who have already had a great run. He's just absolutely dominating right now, and awesome for him. Favourable for Harry Grant. I wouldn't really be going nuts on any Melbourne guys till we see a bit more this from them in terms of like VCs and all that sort of thing, like Suafar Longo and all that. Just let them ride. What's interesting, I like the Will Warbrick in terms of a start this weekend, and then Jerome Hughes. He maybe is an opportunity, just the way that the Raiders are conceding nearly 70 to halves. Jerome Hughes is a bit of a VC in draft, would make a lot of sense given this is only game 2, I think. Just checking, I've got no other call outs from a pickup perspective in this one. No, I don't think so. No, not in this one. I do in this one, so I'll get straight to it. Luke Garner is a really high waiver, even short term. I just think he's a super coacher. He finds his way to points. If he gets 4 weeks of 80-minute games, even if it's 70 minutes, he'll be really valuable for people. He'll help you win some matchups, I think, which is really cool, and therefore I think he deserves a high ticket. Jenkins has the gun matchup we spoke about. Casey's not there, sadly, to convert on an elite matchup. Favourable for the halves, but 60's pretty tight, but be keen to see Talangi hit some upside. I don't know if this is the night for it, but yeah, we need him to do something for us. Penrith will be pretty good, I reckon. It's like Hammer's been one of the best fullbacks in the game. He's averaging like 70 something, but his coefficient of variance is like under 10%. So he's been really consistently scoring above 65. So for him to have a tough matchup shows just how staunch generally Penrith have been to fullbacks. Doesn't help that they played Connor Tracy last weekend, so when people did score on Penrith, it was not the fullback. And then on the Penrith side, yeah, Dylan Edwards, great VC or captaincy option for drafters here. I don't know about the Dolphins' defense. Obviously, off a bye, they'll be a bit fresher, but yeah, I don't know enough about what they're putting out there. It's too inconsistent for me to make much sense of it. But you can see 3 elite matchups, 3 favourables, and a gun. Like, it should be pretty good on paper. I've got the defense map as well. I can release as well on socials. You'll see that. Just keep your eyes peeled. That might help us resolve this one a little bit and see where the Dolphins are. Can I bring that up really quickly? Somehow? Yeah, just bring that up really quickly. Yeah, drag this across. So if we just look at this game, Dolphins, yeah, like they've been conceding quite a fair bit of Supercoach points, guys, and they've been pretty good to fullback. So Edwards is just going to beat that. Left to RF's Isaiah Papali'i. Right centre, that's good for whoever's plugging in. They've been conceding quite a bit there. Yeah, halfback 5'8", they've been decent. Left to RF 80. So just sort of on the edges, they've been pretty mediocre. So, yeah, do with this what you will. Penrith, look how staunch they've been, generally speaking. Herbie, though, gets to capitalise. I forgot to mention that. Pardon me. Jaco Avarillo has a gun matchup, Herbie elite and Jermaine elite. So the edges could still eat a little bit here for the Dolphins. Waiver wire, I spoke about Garner. I think, what's his face? Tungo can do a job in a week if you're stuck. That's it for them. Garner. Yep, that's it. For this one, Warriors and Titans, Keanu Kinney gets an elite matchup. Warriors have let them in. I just don't know if that will manifest, but he did get a bit of confidence last week. He'll get reinforcement from his team, from his coach that, like, you know, that running's really important. Try and break the line. I just think the Warriors will be quite disciplined with their line speed and the way they present their line to Kinney. He plays for the Kiwis as a national player, so I think there's going to be good, I wouldn't say like film on him, but a good attention to detail to him. They'll be like, dude, can't let Kinney do that. I hope he goes really well. I love the kid. Love what he did for me. Can't believe he got me a win last week. I was out by like freaking 250, and this boy just brought it all back in, and I got it done. And just, that's why you draft someone. That's why you play draft, for that feeling. In Classic, people had him. In Draft, only I had him in my league, and I got that benefit. It was so sick. But they're conceding heaps, 78. He's got the matchup score of 78, and it comes together for an elite matchup, which is great. That isn't Chance, that's Tane at fullback. Yeah, Jackson Ford, Wade Egan in the middle, so they're going to carve the Titans middle up, and I don't know if we're ever going to see Tino this year. But if we do, it would nice to be this one to kind of tighten the middle up. But yeah, don't know if that's going to happen. Aaron Clark looking good. Avoid matchups on the Warriors edges. I don't think that's fair. Like, the conceding there on Kurt Capel 70. Kurt Capel's a great plug. Free agency, low end waiver. He played 80 before he got hurt. They might ease him back this week, but if you grab him this week, don't start him. And then see if he gets back to 80 the week after, or even 80 this week. That's pretty sick. Kurt Capel in this team. He play outside Tanner Boyd, I reckon. No, he likes playing left, doesn't he? He played right a bit last year. Mostly left. Either way, I think Capewell is a kind of an spoken guy. If you miss your waiver and you wake up at 4, 5, 6 a.m. and Capewell's there for freeze, if you miss a 2RF waiver, great guy to get and monitor. I don't think he'll be amazing. I'm not sure. I just think Warriors are pretty good. The Titans suck. This is at home. Capewell's been pretty good. Yeah, I think he's just going underspoken a little bit. Quickly checking my list, guys, to make sure I don't miss anyone for you. CHT, if he was like missed and you need a 5/8, he will be better, and he is good. So he's interesting. Tough matchup. I'm not over reading into that. Crazy that the Titans are only conceding 47 to halves. That's freaking weird. Spoke about yeah, there's no one else actually here. Oh, one guy I forgot to mention earlier, guys. It's time to start considering stashing Jeremiah Nano due to what they're rolling out with Kai O'Donnell and Sam McIntyre. So yeah, think about the Nano stash. I've not checked his injuries. I don't really care, but he's definitely someone to look at for those 2RF needy people or want to just build some depth, some trade assets. It's probably getting close to thinking about it. Just double check the injury. I haven't done any research. I just got him listed. Think that's it. Yep, said that. Rabbitohs St George. Again, if Ryan Couchman's available, I think it's his last week of suspension, someone to grab. Luch can do a job for you if you wake up again, and he'll probably be gone in most leagues. In my comp, he's not because of the way we play 2-2-2. We only play 2-2RF. Yeah, I'm not that enthusiastic on him, but he's an option. Ooh. Pardon me. Talis Duncan. I think I might have had him in the original Bilo article. If I didn't, I apologise for lying. But yeah, God, I'd love to get my hands on him, but that ship's probably sailed. But yeah, now with Fifita gone, he should play on the left, play 80 and just dominate. Wish I had a way to get him without paying through the nose, but I think the guy that owns him will just probably make me pay a bit too much, which sucks. AJ and Latrell, that checks out, so then the left edge will benefit by proxy, in my opinion. Yeah, Ryan Couchman isn't the lock, so that should be Hamish Stewart, so I don't know why he's populating there, so just ignore that. I need to fix a couple of these names in the registry. It is so hard to keep up with the way jersey swaps and different guys start on the bench and whatnot. For me, running the database, really annoying, but yeah, that's what I gotta do there. Sewer, yeah, they're not conceding much to his side, but that could change the way the positionality moves. Oh, he'll be running it. Yeah, he'll be running it. Talis Duncan and Latrell, so probably not, but we could get lucky. Maybe Sewer has a few more offloads from Sewer. Would be good if his base is, and attack's disappearing. Otherwise, it's pretty grim for the Dragons. There's nothing. Oh, what I want to mention, Jye Gray gone, so Matt Dufty, I think if you're fullback needy, if he comes into the system in time tonight, a guy that people can run out at fullback, like Joash Papali'i hasn't been offering much. Duffy has the matchup here. I mean, he doesn't because of the neutral, but they're conceding 79. It's Jye Gray's average with the injury last week dragged him down below the conceding, so his matchup scores like neutral, and neutral's not bad. Neutral's a fine matchup. It's not a void. I think Dufty on paper though, when they're conceding 78, he'll be fresh. He's been carving up, I think, in the lower grades, so totally fine with him. Get me off this game anyway. West Tigers, Brisbane, just checking my list, guys. Turuva, Sunia Turuva, needs to probably be owned by now. Josiah Karapani. If they're going to play this offense, the Tigers, Turuva's got to be owned. Tons of gun matchups. They haven't put a foot wrong, the freaking Tigers. 4 gun matchups, guys. Lock Tuala is meh. Don't care about that. Kai Pearce Paul got upside, legit upside. Dewey is a freak. He's been playing so well. So happy for Dewey. So happy for Tigers fans. Buller, he's actually been decent, which wasn't on my thing, but if they're going to play this good, then they benefit. Macassini's been plotting. That makes no sense. I don't get how he hasn't capitalised on this. Taylor May's back. He could hurt himself in 10 minutes, or he could have the game of his life. Not sure. He's running it. Shibasaki, who looks half the player he did last year. Pat Herbert. Oh, well, what the hell's happening there? Oh, Taylor May. Is Pat Herbert not playing? Oh, I need to check the team list, man. Sorry, I just realised as I sort of started speaking, I was like, I actually know. Yeah, Herbert's playing, May's playing, Macassini's wing. Oh, we love that. Okay, We love that. Well, it would have been nice to buy Lom. Oh, and that's maybe not going to happen forever, so I don't know. But good for classic Makasini. You can roll him out again, I think. Only because he has to do a bit more yardage, I would reckon, and then benefit from maybe a few edge movements on the wing a bit more than being in the centre, where he hasn't been able to actually convert them. But yeah, Patrick Herbert can do a job. He's not the right wing, Patrick Herbert. He's the right centre. Yeah, where is Turuva? I don't know what's happened with my registry. I need to go have a look at it. Terrell May, Coruscant, Elite. Like, this is crazy. It's so weird to have the Skelton, Makasini left stuff avoid, but Broncos have been defending pretty good. That's the Stag side. The teams don't destroy the Broncos on that edge that often. Sometimes with A-Ray they might, but that's cool. Quickly on pickups on that one. Dufty, if there's a laid out to A-Ray, can do a job. We spoke about Turuva, Karapani in this, and Patrick Herbert. They're all viable. Terrell Sloan, actually, fullback for the Dragons. If you're stuck, he offers a little bit in attack, but not much, and whatever. But then the Rabbit has been kind of decimated. I know. I think the Dragons could. Yeah, I don't know. No one else in this. A little for the Dragons in the previous game. I forgot to mention. I think like stashable. If he played 50, 60 minutes, he could be better than a lot of the hookers people are running out there, like Mitch Kenny or whatever. You're nearly better off with Little and just the low minutes and hoping he scores a try or does something creative like a line break. Luai, if dropped for this, I think he's in for Jock Madden, isn't he? I think he's in for Jock Madden. Yeah, so you can get on him if he was dropped. He wouldn't have been, but just if he was or whatever, if your league's a bit weird with that stuff. Roosters Newcastle. Thomas Cant, I think, is waiverable. He's got 4 weeks of runway to potentially play 80 minutes there on an edge, because McEwen did that last year when Thingo was out, but now McEwen... Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Now McEwen is on the right, and he will do it. He's actually trending in the right direction. I liked him pre-draft. The start was just abysmal, but I think he'll be good with Brown. Like, Brown's always been good for his back row, so I think McEwen will be good, trending in the right direction. I love the attack. A lot of it's down the right edge, so it means that the shape's established. Brown, maybe this isn't the exact week, but yeah, don't mind McEwen at all. If you need it, you just want a rotational back row guy. Yeah, Trey Mooney's got the gun matchup. I'm not putting any stock into that. He's scored junk time tries. Matchup score of 58 just shows how kind of miserable the prop landscape is. And then Naf White with favourable, same thing. Matchup score 54, but conceding 62. So it's looking quite good for Naf. He just hasn't been popping off. Robson favourable. DCE, Mark, Rob Toyer, they're all going to benefit. They should go quite well. Then Tupou even favourable in the others. Dude, I'm so sorry. This has been a diabolical. It's like me yawning, me coughing, and then my headset like dying or going off, thinking I wasn't using it, which I'm clearly speaking into it. So maybe it's low battery. No, it seems okay. I don't know. Anyway, I keep smashing through this. A lot of matchups here. Enari. Oh, do we do Bulldogs? Do we speak about Enari Tuala? Oh, maybe we haven't got to the Bulldogs yet. Oh, they're last, that's why. Enari Tuala, get him. Okay, back to this one. Tupou, yeah, I think he'd be snapped up, but yeah, worth grabbing. I think I need to grab him. Did I speak about Tomoko? Yeah, I think I did speak about Tomoko, the blah, blah, blah. The Sharks are on bye, so Mulatalo is getting into stash territory in the next couple of weeks. Don't rush it, please, but it is getting there. Spoke about Thomas Cant, McEwen this game. Great. Next game, yeah, it's the Sonny Luke. Cowboys, Sonny Luke, I forgot to mention the first game. He's weirdly Holt's luxury stashable just in case they go frick you to Reed Marnie and bugger him off and just play Sonny Luke for 60 minutes or whatever. He's like weirdly playable. Yeah, I want to get off this game. Elite matchups for Tuala, who I said to grab. Galvin, which benefits Preston, who's also got an elite matchup. So this is great for us Preston owners. Ignore the Josh Curran, I don't know why it's pulling in. Jack DeBellin, I don't know why that's pulling in. It's like it's referred to like round 1 or something weird. It's like Skelton and DeBellin and Curran doesn't make any sense. Max King's injured, so that's great for Satili Tupanua, who is a waiver ticker because he's got PPM and he's in the front row. Love him as a front row too, with a bit upside potentially. Is Kautonga injured, guys? Can't even remember. Yeah, so Charlie Guymer's on the edge. It doesn't move the needle for me. Don't care about that. Simonson's out too. Penasini's got touch. Just looking bad for the Parramatta Eels. I wouldn't want to be relying on too many of them, mate. Jack Williams is fine. He'll do a job. Iongi's not there. So if you've got the Joash Papali, he hasn't done much, so you can sit him for sure. But you can fire up your Bulldogs for sure. I think they'll convert on the energy they brought into the Penrith game. They're a serious enough team. I don't think they're going to necessarily just come in here without the right level of energy. I think they roll on with that energy, in my opinion. I think if you've got anyone on the edge of the wings, centres for the Bulldogs, you back them in 100% there. So yeah, that's my read on that. Quick list again. So at hooker, Sonny, Luke, and Little can sort of be luxury stashed or whatever. I'll bring it across so I'm not looking the other way. Front row, Satili, Cooper Clark, even Jack DeBellin in deep leagues, I would be looking at to stash and just see if he just begins playing 60 minutes, 55 minutes in the middle to tighten it up. I don't know if that'll happen. I'm just shouting it out. Then it's Garner, it's McEwen and Kant. It's maybe a stash on Jeremiah Nana. I just checked the injury thing. Halfback, it's Dufty if laid out. Luai if dropped, doubt it. 5/8, it's Chanel Harris to Vida. If there's an out to Boyd and Luke Hanson comes in, he can do a 5/8 job for you. CT Dub, Enari, Tuala, Turuva. Probably got to have Karapani. Don't mind Laybut, plug and play guys on the right, just because their attack's so damn good. Terrell Sloan in really deep leagues. Patrick Herbert's fine too. Tomoko is a risky one, but I like it. See what happens there. Mulatalo's looking into stash territory soon. And then fullback, Matt Duffy. I'm going to quickly check questions and Discords and everything to see if there's any questions. Nothing jumping out. Someone said Leo Thompson worth a wait for something like a Burbo, position depth aside. Yeah, I would think that's the case. Someone said they'd love McEwen. I agree there. No, someone said DWZ, Tuala, or Watiri is a waiver priority. I'd go Tuala if we hear more about his security. I think he got the job over Cherry. I don't know why they play Cherry over Tuala. Tuala's been awesome. So I'd just go Tuala, DWZ, obviously try scoring upsides there, then Watiri. Pardon me. And then if I just go to Substack and answer any question over there, if you guys can stick around for that. 32 minutes. We're tracking okay. Why did we take so long last week? There's probably so much to talk about. There is definitely a question here. Oh, there isn't a question there. Where did the person ask that question? Oh, on the article. Yep. So this person said, is Howard sell high if I could get Carrigan for him? I basically said, yeah, great thinking. I would back the best player, which is Carrigan in the better team. I just said, is the origin situation going to hurt you? He reckons a little in round 12 he'll lose, but 15 he has Hines, KP, Fifita playing with Kinney, Chester. So yeah, he's confident to win those. Lehigh. I've just been offered Lehigh for my Tina. My other CTWs, McLean, Chester, and Tamale. Start 2 CTWs. In start 2 CT dubs, no. I just like literally roll with Tino. Trading Tina helps me through origin period, but hard to part with him for CTWs. A package with losing Howe and Tina for Carrigan help me at the back end of the year. Currently 3-3, highest points 4. I just think that Howe for Carrigan works, and then if Tino hits, then you've got all this crazy upside. I think in a 2 CTW league, I couldn't give a crap about a CT dub like Lehigh. What I'd be doing in that league is just getting by with the best CT dubs available, which you've got McLean and Chester. It's like the perfect combo. Both should base. Well, McLean's not really a basey guy, but like McLean will get you like 40 to 50. Chester will base you 50 and then go north. And then McLean has serious upside, which we've seen with the 100s and even the 66 with a freaking sin bin. I'd be holding Tina 100% in a league like that because that's where you make that's a difference maker there. I'll reply to you in a sec, Aiden, but hopefully that helps. Don't really have any other questions. This poor guy, we got a trade through where he got Daniel Tupou and David Fifita. for Kaloa and Robson, and then obviously the Fifita thing happened. I'm so sorry for you, mate. Like, that is just brutal stuff. I was literally proposed a Fifita trade the Savo. The dude went to sleep. He's in another part of the country, another part of the world, luckily, and I saw that dude. I would be absolutely crying about that. Can't believe it for old mate. But Terrell May's made an uptick for you, mate, so it should be sweet. Anyway, I think that's it. Yeah, get this one into you. What I also did was I need to plug the Instagram more. I've been doing all the Instagram, guys. I've been putting like all the snapshots and stuff on Instagram. Great place for you just to kind of see it as I send it. We've got the like ownership guys, like so low ownership with data, projecting them into a decent situation this weekend or beyond. We've got the matchups go up there. I do like players in focus, which are just guys that I'm looking at projections of and just keen to see how they'll go. We have more to come to, a few more pieces, and we've got a try scoring, like a conceding map I'll post there too, and whatnot. So if you prefer Instagram or you like that as a place to kind of scroll or set notifications for, I'm doing that thing now. It's sc.draft.oracle. Yeah, on Instagram, so please give that a quick look and a follow if you can. And if you're there and you've followed and you're bored and you don't mind, please like the posts. Instagram's so hard to grow and it's such like a graveyard zombie land, but I know that people do like it, and I know I don't mind it for other stuff, so more than happy to put stuff on there. But yeah, if you do see it and get value from it, I need you to like it so that like I know that that's working and worth the energy. Yeah, so I think that's it. I feel like I'm just missing so much. Hey, it's just been a crazy day. Yeah, good luck on waivers. I'll be on a Substack channel thing tonight answering questions for people. All right, I'm out.